Albanese Government's economic plans are in the spotlight this morning following confidential Treasury advice being accidentally leaked. The internal briefing, mistakenly sent to the media, warns the government's budget can't be fixed without higher taxes and major spending cuts. It also concedes Labor's goal to build 1.2 million new homes over 5 years will not be reached. For more, we're joined now by Shane Oliver, AMP Capital Chief Economist, live in Sydney. Morning to you, Shane. So Jim Chalmers says that this is just advice that every government gets, which it does. But do you see the government raising taxes?
Well, that's an important question. The government, in fact, the Treasurer at a recent National Press Club address did say that the budget is somewhat unsustainable, that they may need to find ways to raise revenue. So he's sort of been saying that. And of course, that's what the Treasury is saying. I think this leak, if you want to call it that, does, I think, provide a good insight into how Treasury sees things, how they're concerned about certain things. They're obviously concerned about the state of the budget. They're basically saying that either we've got to control spending, and that's been difficult in recent times, or we've got to raise revenue, which means more taxes. I guess the good news is that they're saying they don't want to raise taxes on individuals. They want to give workers a fair go, and perhaps the focus should be raising indirect tax like the GST. So I guess we can live in hope on that front, but obviously there's a lot of issues to work through to get the budget into a sustainable shape.
OK, you just mentioned there cutting spending by the Treasury. From where you look at how the budget is at, do you see that spending does need to be cut? Do you think that is more likely than raising taxes?
Well, I think spending does have to be cut. And the reality is at present that when you look at the state of government spending and government revenue, they're both running around record levels. But the real problem here has not been the lack of tax revenue. It's been doing pretty well. The real problem has been that spending has been growing very, very rapidly. Obviously, we saw that through the pandemic, but it's continued in the post-pandemic years. And that's where I think we should really be focusing, because as you grow government spending, it takes more and more resources away from the private sector, where a lot of economic growth comes from. And that partly explains why growth in our living standards has slowed down.
Yep, and inflation keeps going up. All right,
That's
Shane
right.
Oliver from AMP, thank you.